like it was overall a good day? Just kind of, I mean, you feel like you got to accomplish what you hope to accomplish with today?
For sure. I mean, it wasn't perfect as far as, it being clean, but the guys getting after it, competing, stepping up to the challenge. It's the first time getting in front of another team. I like where our heads were at. I like how well we handled the intensity and tried to raise it to our own. And it was a good step forward in trying to create a standard.
You almost expect things not to be clean and crisp and precise that first time out?
Not yet. I mean, there's so many different, groups that we have, 1, 2s, 3s, and cycling through that. Sometimes you're playing with guys you haven't had a lot of reps with, and so you're not expecting them to be there. The communication is not exactly where it needs to be with a guy you're getting 3 or 4 reps with. So, you want it to be clean, you want it to be smooth and perfect, but you got to get more reps.
Myles, on occasion I have seen Shedeur kind of hanging out with you a little bit between reps on the field, maybe picking your brains a little bit or whatever. Just wondering what your thoughts are on Shedeur, kind of how he's conducted himself this camp, and then now he's getting the start on Friday night. What are your thoughts?
I mean, he's funny, he's optimistic, he's lighthearted, but he works hard. He takes it seriously, his craft, and he's watching what the others are doing, and doing it his own way in which only he can. So, looking forward to see him during these preseason games and how he manages the offense. But I think he looks good, but all the guys look good right now.
And does that show initiative on his part? That, I mean, and maybe you guys aren't talking like real technical football during those little powwows, but is he picking your brains on certain things, like what to expect when you're?
For sure, not always. When you see him, he's picking my brain, but he's definitely coming to me a couple times to see what I'm thinking. I'm going through my rush or what the defense's mentality is.
Myles, from one number one pick to another, what do you think about your work against Bryce Young today?
I mean, I think he looks a lot more comfortable, than the first time he suited up. I think they've really rallied around him. And seeing that he can lead this team and do well. The playmaking and game-changing ability hasn't changed. And, I think it's just him finding his own confidence, being comfortable in the role, and them allowing him to lead and standing behind him. And I think that was big for him. And he's only going to continue to settle in and become a bigger and bigger playmaker.
Can that help a young player? I know they sat him for a little bit and let Andy start for him, but can that help a younger player sometimes to kind of step back and kind of reset and kind of see?
I think in most cases for quarterbacks that's imperative, to allow them to get some perspective. Take a step back, not be expected to change a franchise or a team overnight. Allow yourself to be guided by some of the people who came before you who have seen the game, who have game experience, and you can really learn from. And then once you're ready to take that role, let it happen gradually instead of suddenly, and be thrust into a position where it's make or break.
You guys are trying to change this franchise. You're only 3 weeks in. What do you see? What's your feeling on how things are going?
I like how the standard has continued to increase, every single day. Guys are really showing an attention to detail and a discipline that I don't feel was there all the time last year. And it's a heightened awareness, heightened urgency right now, and I want to continue to see that through the rest of the year.
Myles, how did you guys establish that? A lot of guys have talked about it being a mindset. Were there conversations you guys had to establish that?
I feel like it was an effort all around, from coaches to players. It's got to be everyone in the building, from Haslam down to the last guy on the roster. Everyone's got to have the same mindset of what we expect from every single one of us walking into that building. And I think it's got to continue to be pushed by the leaders of the team who have been expected to rise up to that role. And I think a lot of guys have stepped into it and made the most of it.
Myles, how can this trip and next week's trip kind of help with camaraderie or team building? Is it good to get away and do these kinds of things?
Sure, it can be good, as long as you come into it with the right mindset, trying to get something out of it, not looking at it as an escape or a vacation. You've got to look at as a way to get better. You're going to compete against some of the very best in the position across the league. So take it as a challenge. Use these different looks, these different players as a way to grow as a player and a teammate, as a leader, and just look forward to working with your brother. Take it with a smile on your face and continue to attack the role every time.
You sometimes wish you could sack this Flacco guy without getting one day. You sometimes wish you could sack this Flacco guy in practice without getting one day.
Man, there was a play when he was on the Jets where I had him dead to rights, and I got snagged down by the back of my shoulder pads, and it was fourth quarter. They were making their comeback, and I'd have ended the game. And I'll never forget that, looking at his face every time we sit close to each other in team meeting. But I've done buried the hatchet, and glad to see him with us. See with the good guys.
How's it going with you kind of helping DeJuan get ready for whatever he's going to face this season?
Continue to build his confidence. I know it can be difficult sometimes if I make a play or if I beat him, but just trying to coach him through some things that I see or what I'm doing, and continue to improve his technique and his fundamentals. And I think the main thing for him is confidence and being on the left side. Making sure that he knows he's capable of winning on that side and dominating on that side. It's just a matter of switching those fundamentals a little bit, and sticking with it. Sometimes I think he gets in his head a little bit, but I know he has the ability to go out there and dominate on the left side or the right side, whatever he's called to do.
Myles, as a defensive line, where have you guys seen your unit grow the most? And just getting best acclimated, but really just the time that you guys have spent together these last couple weeks.
Where have I seen us grow the most?
Yes.
I would say maturity. Just stepping up. A lot of guys were young. I mean, obviously a year younger last year, but I don't feel like they knew they had a voice. And leadership comes at any year. Whether you're year 1, year 9, you step up to the role and you're able to lead by your actions and by your words. I feel like guys don't understand that. Year 1 you lead by example, by setting that example every single day. Carson going out there and getting extra reps, and when we're running skills and bigs, he's up there with the top 3 fastest guys, and that's how he leads with example and not necessarily with his voice. And I continue to see him do that, and that's how he grows in that role. And I've seen some of the linemen do that as well, especially the young guys.